You're listening to Excellence Above Talent, a podcast where we have the hard conversations about the lives of men and what leads us to achieve greatness and suffer defeat. Hear from other men's journeys as well, as we all learn and grow together to become inspirations to ourselves and those around us. And now your host, Aaron Thomas.
What's up, my beautiful people? Aaron Thomas with Excellence Above Talent. I wanted to jump on tonight. Low-key, I wasn't going to record a podcast. I was feeling some type of way, and I had recorded a podcast a couple of weeks ago, and so I was trying to look for that podcast to record what I said on that podcast and just kind of give you a rerun of a podcast that I was on. But I was talking to my little brother, and it's always good to have people in your life that helps you see things differently. And so while talking to him, we started talking about discipline and how a lot of people struggle with discipline, including myself. And it's because there's a entitlement that I think I have when it comes to I'm doing the work, I'm putting myself out there. I should be further along than where I'm at now. And that's just not how that works, because it has to be constant. I shouldn't be looking for something. I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing to get something from it. I should just be doing it because I want to live my best life. And I know that my life has been difficult or more difficult because I get lazy sometimes when it comes to doing the work. So when I feel like I've put in enough work and nothing has happened, I'll completely stop and do something different. And that's only creating a space where I have to work twice as hard to get to where I want to go. It's like that picture where there's two guys. One guy is hitting the sand in a tunnel, and he's almost there. His blessings are right around the corner, and he gets dejected. He gets frustrated. He gets sad. He gets depressed. And he turns away and walks away from his blessing. And his blessing was one or two hits away, right? And there's the other guy who's motivated. He's inspired. He's just moving along because he knows at some point he's going to hit pay dirt. And I think for a lot of my life, I was close to something great, and then I pulled back. And I'm not sure if it's like self-sabotaging, like if I feel myself getting to a place and I don't think that I deserve it or I'm not worthy of it, so I pull back. So I don't know if I have to, continue working on self-confidence, or is it a form of laziness where I'm doing the work and I know that there's a lot more work once I hit pay dirt, and I don't know if I want to do that work, so I pull back. So this is kind of like the conundrum I'm in right now. I don't personally feel that I am lazy, but I think a lot of times I self-sabotage myself, where I feel myself doing what it is that God wants me to do, and because it's scary and because it's unknown, I don't know what's going to happen. I know how big God is, and so that's also a scary thing, because am I ready for something that he's willing to give me? And the answer is yes. If he's willing to give me something, I am ready for it, and I need to get out of my head, receive it, and do the best I can with it. And I also feel that this is something that makes a man high value. I know in my relationships, work, friends, marriage, I lacked discipline. And I'm going to go and tell you the definition of discipline in the dictionary. I think this is like the dictionary.com. An activity, exercise, or regimen that develops or improves a skill. a branch of instruction or learning. So it's a continuation of doing something to get better. And I know for a fact that if a man wants to be better in his life, he has to have some form of discipline. I've created some form of discipline when it comes to the gym. I don't usually miss too many days. I still miss days, and that's totally fine. You can miss days. If your body's hurting, if your body needs rest, you can miss days. But the constant is I've been steadily going to the gym for about a year and a half now, and that is something that compounds, right? Getting up early, the 5 a.m. class, 3 to 4 times a week. It ain't the five. It ain't 5 times a week. It'll be 3 or 4, but I know some people will try to say it's not, but they're haters. So, but I think in creating a level of discipline when it comes to working out, I started to see, oh, this is what I need to do for the rest of my life. This is how I need to conduct the rest of my life. It sometimes is hard to not get dejected or to not get frustrated or to not feel pressure because you see yourself differently. You see yourself in a higher light, I guess. And when you look in the mirror, you're not there, or you are perceived to be not there. But it's because you haven't finished doing the work. And there's one thing I don't want to do is give up on what God has in store for me in my life. I want to get everything that He has written down in His book. And in order to do that, my head has to be down and I have to continue working. And I think there is a correlation between serving God and discipline because when I'm in church, when I'm reading His Word, when I am having a relationship with Him, discipline seems to be there. But as a human being, I start to see all the things that are happening. And this could be my problem. We're having this discussion right now, right? I'm talking through it right now. So this could be my problem. I see all the great and the good that is happening in my life, and I take God out of it, and I put myself in the place of God. And I'm going to a marriage seminar at Crossroads Church, and they are talking about how we make horrible God, and we do. Anytime you put yourself in place of God, you lose that power, you lose that motivation, you lose that peace. And it's not immediately, it takes time. But once you lose it, you feel it. And then because you feel it, you assume that God isn't there or that God is testing you. And it's not the case. You just got to remove yourself from the position of trying to be God and allow Him to work. And I think that has been my issue for majority of my life. I get to a point where I feel like God isn't required anymore and I take His place. And every time I take His place, He slaps me back down. And then I'm humbled and I'm listening to His word and listening to what He has to say. And then when I get back to that pinnacle again, I again try to replace myself with Him and He slaps me back down again. And I think that's something that as a man, we have to work on because we can feel like a God when it comes to being a man. Your family's looking up to you for protection and provision. And if you're walking around and you're making sure everything is good within your household, you have a house, you have a roof over your head, your family's taken care of as far as foods and meals and clothes and vacations, and you're doing all the things that you're supposed to do, you sometimes get into your head and feel like that you're bigger than what you need to be. And I see it a lot where guys make that assumption. And I'm only saying it because if you view yourself as God-like and the people in your life aren't doing the things that you assume or expect them to do, then I feel that's where abusive behavior comes in. Because you feel like you're doing and you're going over and beyond to provide for your family. And if you feel like they're not giving you that same match, you feel used, you feel abused, and you want to hurt. instead of understanding that this is what you're supposed to do as a man, as a leader of your household. But when you replace yourself with God, and I've done it, your wife, your kids, they can't say or do anything that's good enough. I am in the predicament that I am in, where I am in a separation with my wife because there was nothing that she said or did that was good enough. And it wasn't like that all the time. But when I put myself in place of God, it created this imbalance of power. And I thought I was better. I thought that I was entitled because I was a man and she was a woman. And so I put on these invisible roles for myself and for her without even having these conversations with her about them. And so if you are in a relationship or you are in a marriage and it is sucking, your wife or your kids are afraid of you when you come home, you don't feel the love in your house, ask yourself, have you replaced yourself with God? And you're asking your family to do things that you haven't even had a conversation with them about, and they're not something that they can't even do because it's expectations that can't be reached. To me, as a high value man, discipline is key. If you do not have discipline, you're not living a good life. And I'm speaking that from experience. And in this process that I'm in, where I'm in between jobs, but I'm not in between jobs because I still have a job, which is, Uber, Lyft, Instacart. And that's another thing. There was embarrassment in the beginning when I talked about at this point in my life what I'm doing to make money. But daily, as I continue to grow, continue to love myself more, continue to try to figure out myself to become the best man I can possibly be. I have a roof over my head, I have food in my belly, and all of my bills are paid for. And I am afraid, embarrassed about that some days. And then some days I'm not. But at the end of the day, going through trials and tribulations only make you stronger. They only make you better. And I can say without a shadow of a doubt that in these last 7 to 8 months, I have become a stronger man and a better man for it. And I'm slowly starting to understand discipline in its rawest form. It sucks getting up at 4 a.m. You have to be kind of nuts to do it in the first place because no one wants to do it. Who wants to get up at 4 a.m. to get ready to go to a 5 a.m. class where your body's going to get murdered? That's just the nicest way I can say it. Your body's going to go through some crazy things. Burpees, cleans, front squats, jump ropes, devil presses. Ugh. And you get up almost every morning. I'm working on every morning, but almost every morning. And you put yourself through that daily, over and over and over. Who wants to then come back home, take a shower, and then go to work? I know people will be like, oh, I love my job. That's BS. The stats show otherwise. Most people don't like their job, but every day they get up and go to it because they got bills to pay. So if you think you don't have some form of discipline and you're going to a job that you do not like to make money, that is a form. Or who wants to wake up on the weekend, rake the yard, throw the trash? Like discipline separates the real men from the boys. And sadly, I've been a little boy for majority of my life, running around thinking I'm this man, but I don't have the discipline to be this man. So I make choices and decisions out of impulse, out of fear, because I want to self-sabotage. I'll eventually say that correctly. It's hard. And especially if you're like me, I'm in my head constantly. Doubt, fear, worry, anxiety. And that only creates depression. But one thing that I've learned in this process of trying to build my discipline is that every day I wake up, I thank God, I'm grateful. And I'm not even gonna lie. And it's not even every day. 85% of the 15%, and God ain't on talking time. And it has nothing to do with him and everything to do with me and my mindset. But majority of the time, if you see me, I have a smile on my face. And I'm telling you right now, in the past 7, 8 months, I've been going through hell. Hell created by moi. My own chaos. Ain't running from it. I'm looking at it dead in the eye every single day. So I created this chaos. I'm not running from this chaos, but every day, mostly every day, I get up and I thank God and I'm grateful that I have a chance to make this day the best day I can possibly make it be in God, with God. So at the end of the day, as a man, you have to find discipline. And it's not going to be in like everything right off the bat. We was at the marriage conference. It's not a conference. It's a marriage. It's a 6 weeks marriage. I don't know, seminar, I guess you could say. And the pastor at Crossroads, he had a great illustration last night. And this is sometimes how I feel about discipline. He said most people won't raise their hands, but how many people forgot or have forgotten to brush their teeth one day? And people raised their hands. And then he was like, so because you didn't brush your teeth one day, did you say, forget it, I'm not going to brush my teeth for the rest of the week? Or the next day, did you brush your teeth? And most people should say, the next day I brushed my teeth. And that's just discipline. Switch that with discipline. One day, I didn't go work out. I overslept. I had a busy day. And by the time I got home, it was like 12 o'clock. And so I had a choice to either set my alarm and get up at 4 to go work out at 5 or pout about it, give up, which I used to do. If I miss one day or 2 days, I just give up. Ain't no point. It's crazy. You miss 2 days in the gym, ain't no point. But you're at Burger King getting a Whopper, not the one meat, the two meat Whopper, and then making the fries and drink large. Because you missed 2 days of working out, you're just gonna just give up. I used to be that person. Jesus. Now I give up like 1 or 2 days, and then there's something inside of me that's like, get up, bro. You don't. It's not in you. That's not in you to quit. It's not in you to give up. Got to get up. Got to keep pushing forward. But that's essentially what discipline is. If I miss a day or 2 or 3, it's okay because I'll get up the next day or the week and I'll continue that process. Me going to the gym 3 or 4 times a week is better than me not going to the gym at all because I can't get my ass up. It's better. I'm still instilling some form of discipline in my life. I'm still trying to make my life better. And because I'm doing that, it compounds. To me, discipline compounds. You start off with one discipline. If it's going to bed at 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. every night, you do that for a month to a month and a half. And then once that becomes a habit, then you start to look for other things that you can be more disciplined in. Like discipline isn't going to happen like all at once. It takes one thing. So find that one thing that you're trying to be disciplined at and do your best to get disciplined in that one area. Just one. And I'm not saying do it 7 days a week. If you can only do it 3, start off with 3. If you can only do it once, start off with once. Every Monday at 10 p.m., I'm going to be in bed. Then that Monday will turn into Tuesday because you'll feel the difference on that Monday and you'll want more of it. So discipline compounds. And because you missed a day or 2 or a week, you don't stop. You don't quit. You get up and you keep moving forward. You figure it out. And when it sucks and when it gets hard and when you want to quit, you get up and you keep doing it. Because greatness is not easy. Being a high value man is not easy. That's why I feel most men are not high value men because it takes too much work. I see the trash. I know it needs taken out, but I don't want to. So I go sit down on my couch, put my leg up, and watch the game. And the crazy part is, it takes like 30 seconds. Take the trash out, put the bag in, throw the trash out, come back. And you're also creating chaos. Because you know who else sees the trash? Your wife. Oh, and she sees it. And what she'll do is she'll keep throwing stuff in that trash can to the point to where the stuff that she's throwing in that trash can is overflowing. And she sees it and you see it. And all you have to do is take out the trash. But you wait. You wait until she explodes on you. And then you play the victim. Oh, snap. You play the victim. Like, why are you screaming at me? I don't understand. Well, you see the trash, you can take it out too. Fellas, discipline. Let's be high value men. Let's make the people's lives Let's make the lives of the people that are in our lives better because we are in their lives. It should not be harder. It should not be painful. They shouldn't be afraid or scared or sad. Your family lives should be easier because you're putting in that work. High value men are men who are very disciplined. And no, I'm not there yet, but best believe I'm trying my hardest. There are days I want to quit. There are days I want to give because it is tough. Life is hard sometimes. Sometimes you make it hard and sometimes you don't. But it's hard. Surround yourself with people that uplift you and pick you up when they see you down. Every day, grow and try to be better. Create that relationship with God or your higher power, and then take it one day at a time. I can't worry about tomorrow because today is still here. And I can't worry about yesterday because today is here. So do the best that you can with the 24 hours that you have. Be as disciplined as you can. Do the things you don't want to do. And eventually, the things you don't want to do will become so minute you're not even thinking about why you hated it in the first place. Let's be disciplined, high-value men together. Let's push each other, hold each other accountable. Because I'm a big believer in this world, if men can start to figure it out faster, if men can start to figure it out more, if men can become more mature in their actions and in their thought process, this world becomes a better place. Hands down becomes a better place. These young boys that I'm talking to now, they have someone to look up to, and they're not running to porn or gangs or all the negative things that I'm seeing right now in our school system. They're not running to these things because they have a man in their household that they look up to. That's a good mentor that pushes them to be young, high-value boys because they are amazing, high-value men. We have to be better as men. We have to be better. And don't fall into the attacks of the other side. It's just so crazy to me. Everyone wants to be at war. Democrats, Republican, women want to be at war with men. It's like, damn, man, if we just take a step back and look at what we can do to help each other out, it becomes better. Don't get sucked up into that. Just be the best man you could possibly be. And if that's not good enough for the people that's in your life, that's not good for them. And there's nothing you can do about that. But don't get sucked up into all this fighting, this back and forth. I see it, and I sometimes want to say stuff. But at the end of the day, it'll take away from what I'm trying to do in my life. And that's to be a disciplined man, a high-value man, a man that when he walks into a room, the energy changes in a good way. And my family and the people that are in my life want to be in my life. So if anyone hasn't told you today that they love you, let me be the first to say I love you. You are awesome. You are amazing. You deserve the best that this world has to offer. Do not give up. Do not quit. The world does not get easier, but you will get stronger. Please like, subscribe, share, because I am on a mission. I am on a mission to help build better lives. I'm on a mission to call out the weaknesses that we as men have. And I'm on a mission to make myself better in this process. And anything that I talk about on this podcast is something that I'm dealing with or have dealt with. I'm not just going to be talking about some stuff that I feel would be good for the podcast. This is real stuff. Real stuff that I'm dealing with. Real stuff that I'm trying to fix in my life. And so I'm having a conversation with the world about it. Y'all have a good day. I love y'all. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. And for daily motivational and up-to-date content, follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Excellence Above Talent. And remember, keep moving forward, never give up, and you are never alone in this battle. We'll see you next time.